friends, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to show you the question and answers of Science Standard 7 Time and Motion. These are the very short answer questions. What is time? Time is the period between two events. What is the SI unit of time? Second. How many seconds are there in 1 minute? 60 seconds. How many minutes are there in 1 hour? 60 minutes. Name any two devices used to measure time. Clock and stopwatch. What is a simple pendulum? A simple pendulum is a device consisting of a metal ball or bob suspended by a string from a fixed support. What is oscillation? One complete to and fro motion of a pendulum is called oscillation. What is the time period of a pendulum? The time taken to complete one oscillation. What is the mean position of a pendulum? The central position where the bob comes to rest. What factors affect the time period of a pendulum? Length of the string, that is main factor. Why does a pendulum slow down and stop after some time? Due to air resistance and friction. Why is a stopwatch used in sports? To measure short time intervals accurately. What is a sundial? A device that tells time using the shadow of the sun. What is motion? An object is said to be in motion when its position changes with time. What is rest? An object is at rest if it does not change its position with time. Define speed. Speed is the distance covered by an object in unit time. Write the formula of speed. Speed equals to distance divided by time or distance upon time. What is the SI unit of speed? Meter per second. What is the difference between slow and fast motion? Fast motion covers more distance in less time. Slow motion covers less distance and more time. On what factors does motion depend? Distance covered, time taken. Why are trees considered in motion with respect to the sun? Because the earth revolves around the sun, so trees also move with the earth. What is a speedometer? A device that measures the speed of a vehicle. What is an odometer? A device that measures the distance traveled by a vehicle. Define average speed. Average speed is the total distance traveled divided by the total time taken. What is uniform motion? Motion in which an object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. What is non-uniform motion? Motion in which an object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time or equal distances in unequal intervals of time. Why do vehicles generally show non-uniform motion? Because their speed keeps changing due to traffic, road conditions and stops. Which type of motion is shown by a car moving 150 meters every 10 seconds? Uniform motion. What is a bar graph? A bar graph is a diagram that represents information using rectangular bars. What is a pie graph? A pie graph or pie chart represents data in the form of slices of a circle. What is a line graph? A line graph shows how information changes over time. Which graph is best used to represent motion? A line graph or distance time graph. Which axis represents time in a distance time graph? X-axis. Which axis represents distance in a distance time graph? Y-axis. What does the slope of a distance time graph represent? Speed of the object. What does a steeper distance time graph indicate? Higher speed. What type of graph is obtained for uniform motion? A straight line graph. What type of graph is obtained for non-uniform motion? A curved line graph. Short answer questions. Why is time considered an important physical quantity? Time is important because it helps us measure duration between events and organize daily activities like school, work and meals. What is the difference between a clock and a stopwatch? A clock measures regular time or hours or minutes. A stopwatch measures short time intervals accurately, especially in sports. Write the relation between the following units. 1 day equals to 24 hours, 1 week equals to 7 days, 1 year equals to 12 months. What are calendars used for? Calendars are used to track longer periods of time like days, months and years. Define oscillatory motion. The to and fro motion of a body about its mean position is called oscillatory motion. How does the length of a pendulum affect its time period? The time period increases when the length increases and decreases when the length decreases. Explain the working of a sundial. A sundial works on the principle that the position and length of a shadow change with the position of the sun, which helps in measuring time. What is an hourglass? An hourglass is a device that measures a fixed time interval using sand flowing from one chamber to another. What is a water clock? A water clock measures time based on the flow of water at a constant rate. Differentiate between uniform and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion, equal distances in equal time intervals and speed remains constant. Non-uniform motion, unequal distances in equal time intervals, speed changes continuously. These examples: train moving at constant speed, and this in non-uniform motion, car in city traffic. Why do we use average speed instead of actual speed during a journey? The speed of vehicles keeps changing during a journey because of traffic signals, road conditions, turns and halts. Therefore, average speed gives a better idea of the overall motion. Differentiate between bar graph and pie graph. Bar graph uses bars to represent data, easy to compare quantities, values shown by height of bars. Pie graph uses slices of circle, shows percentage or proportions, values shown by size of sectors. Why is a line graph useful? A line graph helps us understand how information changes with time. It makes trends and comparisons easy to observe. What is a distance time graph? A distance time graph represents the motion of an object. Distance is plotted on the y-axis and time on the x-axis. Why is the distance time graph for uniform motion a straight line? Because the object covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Distance is directly proportional to time. Why is the distance time graph for non-uniform motion curved? Because the object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, causing the speed to vary. Thank you.